Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Shri Radhe. Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Radha Madhava ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, Hare Krishna, everyone gathered here. This is a nice spring evening. So Krishna, he has a favorite season of all. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, from the seasons I am a flower bearing spring. So the flowers are just starting to come. And we will see a lot of beautiful colors, a lot of green, a lot of flowers. Yeah. It's a great opportunity for us to remember Krishna. Srila Prabhupada was very practical, and he was always trying to ask us to try to remember Krishna whenever we can. For example, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna was also saying, Rasoham apsu kaunteya, I am not taste of the water. And so many different occasions. Prabhupada was asking just to remember Krishna, just try to remember. Prabhupada said even a drunkard can become Krishna conscious, yet he will remember while drinking his wine or whatever, that it's Krishna, which is some kind of water. So, we are reading today chapter 10, text 19 from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So the text is on the board. What do you usually do? You are chanting together, or?
Like usual, traditional way, but we should not like 4 or 5 chants. To save some time, just 1 or 2 chants. 1 Prabhu, 1 Nata.
Okay. So maybe So maybe let's do like this, that I chant one line and you chant the same, and that's it. And then word by word translation we can chant also like this together. So we will chant every line by me. I will start. No, I am serving you by sitting here. That's why I'm starting. So I will chant one line and then you can chant, and then together we will chant. I will chant the. Okay, anyway, let's just start. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Hantate Kathayishyami Divyahyatma Vibhutayaham Pradanyata Kuru Shreshta Nastyanto Vistarasya Me. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Hanta. Yes. Yes. Te. Unto you. Kathayishyami. I shall speak. Divyaham. Divine. He. Certainly. Atma Vibhutayaha. Personal opulences. Pradanyataha. Which are principal. Kuru Shreshta. O best of the Kurus. Nasti. There is not. Antaha. Limit. Vistarasya. To the extent. Me. My. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Vishnujan Maharaj, maybe you know him, he was always, when saying Premadvani obeisances, he was always saying His Divine Loving Grace. So in this way he was expressing his love for his beloved spiritual master. So translation purport by His Divine Loving Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Yeah. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent. O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. Purport. It is not possible to comprehend the greatness of Krishna and His opulences. The senses of the individual soul are limited and do not permit him to understand the totality of Krishna's affairs. Still, the devotees try to understand Krishna, but not on the principle that they will be able to understand Krishna fully at any specific time or in any state of life. Rather, the very topics of Krishna are so relishable that they appear to the devotees as nectar. Thus the devotees enjoy them. In discussing Krishna's opulences and His diverse energies, the pure devotees take transcendental pleasure. Therefore they want to hear and discuss them. Krishna shows that living entities do not understand the extent of His opulences. He therefore agrees to state only the principal manifestations of His different energies. The word pradanyataha, principle, is very important because we can understand only a few of the principal details of the Supreme Lord, for His features are unlimited. It is not possible to understand them all. And Vibhuti, as used in this verse, refers to the opulences by which He controls the whole manifestation. In the Amara Kosha dictionary it is stated that Vibhuti indicates an exceptional opulence. The impersonalist or pantheist cannot understand the exceptional opulences of the Supreme Lord nor the manifestations of His divine energies. Both in the material world and in the spiritual world, His energies are distributed in every variety of manifestation. Now Krishna is describing what can be directly perceived by the common man. Thus part of his variegated energy is described in this way. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasni Gaura Bhakta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Once again the verse. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. First of all, I want to thank you that you are sitting here, you came to listen, and I hope that I will be able to speak something for you, which I think all of you are much more realized and much more advanced than me. What I can say, just something from my life of a devotee, which started basically just here in 2017 in February, and just some realization a little bit. So Krishna in the verse is saying, my opulence is limitless. And at the very beginning of understanding Krishna and trying to see Krishna is acknowledging that He is supreme. Because now we are so much accustomed to think that I am in the center of the world. And naturally that everyone has to serve me. So this is how we are trained in the present society, mostly. There are some religions and there are some faiths or whatever where someone is higher. And especially it was prominent in the days when demigod worship was. So, and it's especially prominent was during the times when demigod worship was very popular. So it was not so far away, like 1,000 years before, even here. I came to know that here on the mountain on the hill, there is a place of demigod worship. And before joining Krishna consciousness, I had association with many people who really are into it in demigod worship, which is how you can understand is not generally accepted in the Western world because of the prominence of Christian Roman Catholic Church. So they are also like outsiders and infidels and whatever. You can understand if you know a little bit Roman Catholic Church history and their work and their spreading of the faith, so you can know why it's like that. So I was meeting with them, and they have a really big faith in the demigods. They were even performing sacrifices in the fire, putting grains, like we are doing, and for them the fire is holy. And they understand that in material nature, that every manifestation, they understand that it's divine. It's not from what we can do ourselves. We have to respect it. Of course, this is where their understanding is ending, that there are many demigods who is responsible each, for example, for air, for fire, for water, for the weather. And they are afraid of them. So, and they are afraid of them. They respect them and they are afraid to offend them. There is also a god of war. and this makes them to be pious, because you understand that you're not alone. Someone is watching you and seeing you. And for example, if you do something bad, then for example, there is goddess who will not give you child or something like that. Understanding which we are trying to realize, and I'm still on the way, is that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and demigods are his servants. They are administrators for the certain functions in our society. It's like a government. There is Prime Minister, and there are ministers, and each of them is responsible for a certain activity. And even in India, we can know that those people who have material inclinations towards the life, for example, they want money, they want wealth, they want to have a good wife, they want to have children, success, and everything, they are offering sacrifices to demigods, thinking that this is the very end of human life, and this is the very end why we are here in this world, just to be happy by having material opulences. But this is very, very tiny manifestation of Krishna's opulence, all this material opulence. And even, for example, someone is praying to send some money or to send a good wife to demigods. If we would see how much Krishna is opulent, so it's just nothing for Krishna. Billions, trillions of dollars, some Elon Musk and his corporation or whatever. What is this for Krishna? They are portrayed like people who can do anything, buy anything. And automatically, because of the publicity in the media, people feel respect to them, to these people. But actually, what is their opulence? This one universe is just a seed in the bag of seeds. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was explaining. And this universe is so tiny, and there are billions, unlimited amount of universe. And in this tiny little universe, there is tiny little planet, and one person thinks that he can buy anything and can see anything. But he also thinks that he is the center of the world, isn't he? He thinks that things go around him, that he is the boss. He has this factory in USA, this factory in USA, this factory in Germany, in China, and this and that. He's working hard, sleeping like even less than we sleep, actually. But they are working so hard. Less than 6 hours they are sleeping. Days and days and days not sleeping, just working, programming, managing, creating ideas, this and that, and thinking, okay, I did it, I reached it, it's my achievement, So all of this is promoted, but there is one point in life when it's over, you lose everything. Even this body, even this, whatever you have around, even the people, which, for example, great rich people are thinking that I love this person, we'll stay together forever and whatever, and Krishna comes. Krishna is also death, so death comes and taking away. We just cannot stop it. We just cannot, because as far as everything goes okay in our life, then it's like okay. But when the problems are coming, I'm not speaking about the suffering which people are experiencing now in the world, because of war and everything. It's so cruel. It's so difficult. It's such a big devastation. And even in our lives, which we are living here, some tiny difficulties, and then what to do? For example, even Maya is trying us in all possible ways, trying to see if we will continue. So Maya is trying by money. Maya is trying by physical attraction to different gender. And Maya is trying by health. So when we have difficulties with one of these things, then immediately a question comes, how much faith I have in Krishna to understand that this comes to me and this will go away. That in the center has to be Krishna. And this can be so strong that at one point you can just think, okay, it's too much. I cannot do it. I cannot. It's just too much. I just don't want to see anything, and what I was seeing every day, don't want to do the things which I did every day. The reason why usually we have difficulties is the lack of faith. Difficulties we can have, but then how we see them, how much faith we have in this process, in Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna, and spiritual masters. When things go well, it seems that okay, I do my sadhana, chanting 16 rounds, do some reading, and going to program and everything, and then you're sick. And when we are sick, we are weak. And then immediately mind becomes stronger and saying, okay, you don't chant these rounds. You don't read, and just relax. That's all. Just for some time when you are sick. But how much we want to cry for Krishna, how much we want to be attached to Krishna, this is the question. And then the question comes, how much we want to stay here in this material world when we are tested. It's always like, it's so easy to just start sleeping when things go well, and then when things go bad, you just understand that, I was thinking I'm so advanced, and now I just see I'm in worse position than before joining. Yeah, it's like that. So many bad things in the heart, so much dirt, so much envy, greed, pride, and then what to do? And then there is the decisive moment, what we will do with that. We will accept Krishna's gifts, people, service. Will we accept it as gifts or as a burden? Srila Prabhupada is explaining that in his lectures. I was listening today to Srimad Bhagavatam in the morning. This is what I am doing in my morning service from 5:30. It's the most peaceful time, no people around. I'm just turning on Srimad Bhagavatam lecture from Prabhupada, and so he was explaining that by force you can force someone to wake up to Mangalarati. 1 morning, 2 mornings, 3 mornings. But if the person is not jolly by going to Mangalarati, doesn't understand, so yes, this is how I come to Krishna, go back to Godhead. then he will not go. Because the motive, why I have to do something, why, for example, I have to sit in the class, or I have to chant my rounds. And also in the difficulties, the motive is coming out. What is actually my motive of staying here? Then it is coming out. And this is how Krishna, step by step, showing us our weaknesses and showing us where we have to improve. Because if we take responsibility for something, then immediately difficulties are coming. If we don't take this responsibility for anything, then we can just, I did my job, just went away, that's all. Others will take care. But if we take responsibility that I will do this thing, I will do this service, I will make sure that everything that Krishna is pleased, service is done, there is no difficulty for devotees, because Krishna doesn't need our service. We need to serve Krishna, because this we need. He doesn't need our service. He doesn't need this money, he doesn't need anything, because his opulence is limitless, how in the verse is said. So we need, we. This is my desire. I want to come back to Krishna. Krishna is not forcing everyone here in this world to come to him. We have to decide ourselves. This is my decision. If I go there, if I take responsibility for my life, this is the biggest responsibility. If I take responsibility for human form of life, that this life I utilize to go to Krishna. So, I'm just sorry, I'm very tired. I had a busy day. So, so Krishna's opulence is limitless. There is no limit. We can just offer our love. This is what can make Krishna to pay attention to us. Love, how much we love him, how much we love our service, how much heart we are giving to the things which we are doing every single day. Not for others to see how my service will be nicely done and how others will respect me and how I'm senior and I'm in the center. Everyone knows that I do the best service, I do this best thing, and no. Even someone who is washing pots, even he can be the most advanced devotee in the temple just because he puts so much love in Krishna. But no one knows about it, because only Krishna knows. So this is the magic of this process. Only Krishna knows who is the most advanced, who's putting the biggest amount of heart into the service. This hierarchy, someone is better, someone is this and that, someone is higher, someone is this, it's just material. It's just at the very end, when we are completely alone, no people around, no one is there, no one is watching, then the real motive comes out, how much we love Krishna. As long as other people are seeing, for example, I can pretend that I'm someone, but no one is around. I am surrounded by difficulties, just pushing body, money, and this and that, and just then we can see what is our motive. And no one will say, okay, you are this, you are that. We alone, we have to be introspective and see ourselves. What is in our heart? How much Krishna is there? Okay, Bashar Prabhu, he sent me a message of the timings of lecture, so I think it's time to finish. Yeah, for questions. Yeah, maybe someone has some questions. Yes, Sanjay, Prabhu.
Can you give practical advice for how to do nicely when becomes really tired, but there is some responsibility? But I feel sometimes also there is an internal responsibility that within our heart we feel that something has to be done.
Yes.
To do something specifically, some relationship,
Mm-hmm.
budgeting, like some reading or this or that, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, what is your realization about how to? Where does the energy and empowerment come to nicely go through this phase of tired, weak intelligence, no focus it seems, and everything is just difficult, dragging. How to move nicely through such things?
Well, there are a few things, and I asked once one senior devotee. First thing, you can remember the hard times which you had before joining Krishna consciousness. You can put retrospective of the situation which you were before joining to Krishna consciousness and now. Usually the difficulties which we had there, they were much bigger than we have now. Another thing, this is one way, and just trying to remember, but I noticed it works usually when, for me personally, it works when difficulties are not so hard. Then you can just, okay, quickly you remember, okay, I was like this before joining, it's not so bad, okay. But then when there are very serious difficulties, it's very important to have someone to speak with, to call immediately. You have phone, you call. Even this person is on the other side of Atlantic Ocean. I have such person. But the problem is that he is very old and he will die soon. Then what? Then what works for me, I just in my mind I just say, Krishna, I cannot do anymore. Please help me. That's all. Just praying in the mind when the body doesn't function anymore, Many days without sleep and so much disturbed and everything. Sometimes the body just doesn't work, doesn't want to listen. For example, you cannot stand out from the bed or sleeping bag or whatever. It doesn't work anymore. And the mind is also. So what I do is just trying to pray to Krishna. Many times Krishna by himself sends me something. I have to go. I have to do service. Someone comes, someone calls, and I have to continue. And then you feel that, you are being carried on. Not by ourselves, but someone is carrying us on, You don't go to duty comes to you. But, it's like, but there is a limit, Krishna is also seeing how much we can. I mean, Krishna is a person, yes? So for example, if a person sees that all the time you're doing the same, we are exhausting ourselves just because of our some motive, which is not really for Krishna's service, then again we are finished. Again we don't do, then how much he will help, So ultimately sincerity. And also recently for me very much helped that I remembered my spiritual master and how by his mercy I have everything. But it's I would say every time when we are in such situation, every situation is very individual. I mean, it's not like, okay, some point when you're almost breaking off and it's the same like it was before. It's not like that. There are some reasons why they happen like this. Maybe the body is sick, whereas before it was just ego which was trying to do as much as possible, even if it was not necessary. Sometimes also happens like that. Another time is just mind is tired of doing the same thing every day. It also happens. We need some space. So different reasons. Every time we are just almost breaking off. Then, but what else is left there? That's to pray to Krishna, at least.
Fail to do our duties. It means we have become disconnected from Krishna in some way.
Shri Prahlad Lakshmi Sivadeva Bhagavan ki. Yeah, so what I want to say is that every situation is very individual. Every single time, for each of us, there is not similar thing. It's like there are certain conditions, circumstances why we reach some position where we are just don't want anything. Of course, we can say, for example, someone who can say, "Oh, this material is just gunas," you know. Okay, it's just be transcendental, just overcome the gunas. But the problem is that no, at least me, I'm not on the level to transcend. And then what to do? It's first of all just praying to Krishna in the mind. Krishna, please help. I cannot do anymore. What to do? You know, what to do? I cannot do anymore. I cannot handle anything, you know. And then, for example, something happens, you must go, even if you don't want, and then you go, and then, relieved. But there is some point where I just feeling like I'm lost, you know? I'm lost, disconnected, and just completely alone, then trying somehow to remember Krishna. Krishna, please help. Krishna, please help. I don't know what to do. I cannot do anymore. What else we can do? Because the gunas are very strong, and our mind, so powerful. So powerful. I'm scared now of my mind. How powerful it is. Recently I had realizations, so powerful. Can just figure out so many reasons not to do the things which you have to do. It's so powerful, it's unimaginable. Also, what I see, it helps that to listen to the chanting of the holy people, Prabhupada, spiritual masters, and just here, and this bring this surrounding is transcends the surrounding where we are trapped. Then somehow it helps. But one thing, the last thing which for me, it helped recently, that I remember that Western society is very individualistic, especially here in Germany. I see, especially German devotees, they are very individualistic. And then it becomes also difficult to have a relationship with devotees. So, even if no one is there around, if there is no friend to come and to save us, we can just remember that our spiritual master, Prabhupada, love us because they took us out from such ignorance, love and care, how they love and care about us. How they love, how they pulled us out from the greatest ignorance. there are so many rules. We have to be so strict. We have to be so serious and this and that. But at the end, we just want to be loved. This is our need. Even the hardest German devotee wants to be loved. Who is always grumpy and whatever. You know, everyone wants to be loved. This is our heart's desire, you know. Yeah, we are trying to practice, but this conditioning is so strong. German, this whatever. I'm from Lithuania, somewhere in the middle. Ukrainians are more sentimental, so they're opposite direction of Germans. I'm somewhere in the middle, Lithuania. So I have this and that. So yeah, so I'm somewhere. No, both worlds are there. So just, you know, can just remember how much the people who are always watching us, special souls, holy souls, they love us. I don't know if I answered. But for sure, if we sincerely go out from such situations, we are humbled. Our ego goes a bit down because we understand that we ourselves cannot do so much. It's those who love us, they do. So yeah, there are days when we don't want anything, no chanting, no reading, nothing. Yeah. And also even then somehow, if you are diseased, you cannot take, then what to do? You can just eat some porridge. For example, my spiritual master, I was in Munich. I was in last initiation ceremony, and I was initiated there in Munich. And you know, I was thinking, okay, Chandi Mataji gave me, oh, this is Maha from Guru Maharaj. Oh, I was thinking, it's so tasty, so nice, because always Maha is very tasty, you know. And I tried, no taste whatsoever, no sugar, no salt, nothing, just porridge without completely any taste, nothing. So here you go. Sometimes it's like that, then prasadam is also taken away. Then what we do? Yeah. 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 This can be also taken away. I also now, recently also, many things were taken away from me. I cannot enjoy so much. I don't take sugar. I don't take deep fried things and anything just because my body cannot take anymore. It's also, prasadam is gradually being taken away from me. So then what? Yeah, but the thing is also that then we have to have taste for other things, chanting, hearing, reading, and this comes by practice. Regularly practice, for example, reading. You read every day, and then gradually you read, oh, feel tasty. Gradually, every single day you go to Bhagavatam and you hear, you know, the words of Bhagavatam. It's tasty, you know, so nice. No, but it comes with time. For example, when I joined, I didn't join because of the books. Maybe I don't know. And when I joined, I was starting to read, and it was so distasteful. No taste at all. Just reading, just empty words. Nothing comes to the mind. And gradually by serving, doing like just washing pots, cleaning toilets day by day, sometimes without 3 days. You remember, Sanjay, how it was when I joined. We were just few devotees and we had to do all the services, guest house, everything. You were making garlands even. We had to do everything. Just few devotees, many times without 3 days, 4 weeks. And then day by day, it's so nice. Read, So like that. Okay, I think it's already too much. They had to be finished 45, now it's 53, so Bashar will not let me go next time to come here.
That's why you say 45. Finish this time, it's still okay.
Okay, good.
Anything before 8 o'clock?
So, I thank you so much for all of you attending and those who were hearing through the channels, whatever are there, cables, internet, Wi-Fi. I wish you a very nice Krishna conscious sleep, that we can get strength, recover, and meet new day in Krishna consciousness. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai.